deep in the sprawling forests of Michigan, where towering pines stretch toward the sky and the wind whispers through the underbrush, a legend has taken root. It's a tale as old as the state itself, passed down from lumberjacks, hunters, and locals who have lived close to the wilderness. They speak of the Michigan Dogman, a creature both fascinating and terrifying, whose legend has grown from scattered whispers to a cultural phenomenon. This is the story of the Dogman, a blend of myth, mystery, and occasional glimpses of what might just be something beyond our understanding. The story begins in Wexford County in 1887. During a particularly harsh winter, two lumberjacks reported seeing a creature unlike anything they had encountered in the wild. Standing on its hind legs, the beast had the appearance of a massive dog, with glowing amber eyes and a human-like posture. According to the men, it emitted a deep, guttural growl that seemed to vibrate in their chests. Too frightened to approach, they fled back to camp, their accounts sparking the first recorded instance of what would become known as the Michigan Dogman. The tale spread quickly among the loggers and settlers, becoming a warning about the dangers lurking in the untamed forests. Over the years, other stories emerged, each adding a new layer to the legend. Farmers in rural areas would report missing livestock, their pens or coops torn apart as if by a massive animal. Hunters claimed to find enormous paw prints in the snow, often in areas where no known predator could explain their size or depth. Some Native American legends from the region also speak of shape-shifting creatures, beings that can take on animal forms to protect the land or punish those who harm it. While not directly linked to the Dogman, these stories have been interpreted by some as evidence of a long-standing connection between the creature and the land itself. For much of the 20th century, the Dogman lingered on the fringes of local lore, little more than an occasional fireside story. But in 1987, the legend took on a life of its own, thanks to a radio DJ named Steve Cook. While working at a radio station in Traverse City, he wrote a song titled The Legend, as part of an April Fool's Day prank.
Cool summer morning in early June is when the legend began. At a nameless logging camp in Wexford County where the Manistee River ran. 11 lumberjacks near the Garland Swamp found an animal they thought was a dog. In a playful mood, they chased it around till it ran inside a hollow log.
The song was inspired by bits and pieces of Michigan folklore, combining elements of the Dogman with other regional myths. What Cook didn't expect was the overwhelming response the song received. Listeners flooded the station with calls, letters, and stories of their own encounters with a Dogman-like creature. Some recounted events from their childhood, while others described recent sightings. The sheer volume of accounts from across Michigan and spanning decades suggested the Dogman was more than just a tall tale. One of the most chilling stories came from a farmer near Luther in the 1930s. The man claimed to have shot at a strange wolf-like creature raiding his chicken coop. Despite hitting it squarely in the chest, the animal didn't fall. Instead, it stood on its hind legs, let out an ear-splitting howl, and bounded off into the woods. Eyewitness reports of the Michigan Dogman are as diverse as the people who tell them, yet certain details remain consistent. 1. The appearance. Witnesses describe a creature roughly 7 feet tall when standing upright, with the body of a muscular man covered in fur. Its head is unmistakably canine with sharp teeth, pointed ears, and glowing eyes. 2. The behavior. Unlike natural predators, the Dogman seems almost to toy with its victims, stalking them or emitting terrifying howls that freeze people in their tracks. Some accounts describe it standing motionless at the edge of a clearing, watching silently before disappearing into the forest. 3. The tracks. Many reports include the discovery of large paw prints, far larger than any known wolf or dog, often found in remote areas. In 1993, a group of teenagers camping near the Manistee National Forest reported a terrifying encounter. They heard strange noises, low growls, and snapping branches outside their tent. One of them peeked out and saw a towering silhouette with glowing eyes. The creature reportedly circled their campsite for hours before vanishing at dawn, leaving behind enormous tracks in the dirt. Another account, from 2007, came from a delivery driver near Ludington. While driving along a desolate stretch of road, he spotted a large animal in his headlights. As he slowed down, the creature stood on its hind legs and glared at him. The driver described its eyes as intelligent but predatory, as if it were sizing him up. Panicked, he sped away, but not before hearing a loud thud on the back of his van, likely a swipe from the creature's powerful claws. While physical evidence of the Dogman remains scarce, a few notable pieces have intrigued researchers and believers. 1. Tracks casts of large wolf-like paw prints have been collected in multiple locations across Michigan. These prints often lack a clear origin or destination, as if the creature simply appeared and disappeared. 2. Audio recordings. In 2001, a group of hikers recorded a series of howls in the Huron-Manistee National Forest. The sounds were analyzed by wildlife experts, who couldn't definitively link them to any known animal. The howls were haunting, enough to unsettle even seasoned outdoorsmen. 3. The Gable film. This controversial piece of footage emerged in the late 2000s. Shot on 8mm film, it appears to show a creature moving on all fours before rearing up on two legs. Though later debunked as a hoax, it remains a vivid example of how the Dogman legend captures the imagination. As with any legend, skepticism abounds. Many believe the Dogman is simply a case of misidentification. Black bears, which are native to Michigan, can stand on their hind legs and may appear wolf-like in certain lighting. Others point to the power of suggestion, arguing that once people hear the Dogman story, they are more likely to interpret strange noises or shadows as evidence of the creature. Still, there are reports that defy easy explanation. Eyewitnesses often describe details that align closely with other accounts, even when separated by decades or geography. Whether the Michigan Dogman is a cryptid, a cautionary tale, or a manifestation of our fears of the unknown, it has become a part of the state's cultural identity. Festivals, podcasts, and documentaries celebrate the legend, while locals swap stories over campfires and hunters keep a wary eye on the woods. For those who have seen the Dogman, or believe they have, it is more than just a story. It is a reminder that the wilderness holds secrets we may never fully understand. So, the next time you find yourself in the dark forests of Michigan and hear a low, mournful howl, remember the old saying, if you hear the howl, don't look back, just run.